Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. On the telepathically communing Smoke and Mirrors Network. Welcome to the In Wheel Time car talk show.
No, you got to do the voice from Autorama.
All right, coming up, it's the Grand Dames of the Rebelle Rally, Mercedes Lilienthal and Emily Winslow, and they're going to talk about this year's Rebelle Rally event. Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you caught up on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we need more, Jeff Zekin. Oh yeah, I'm Don Armstrong.
Come for your daughter,
You won't
Chuck.
be able to talk anymore the rest of the day now.
That guy put a lot of energy in that.
That or a pack of Marlboros.
Back in the day, we used to call those guys squeezers.
Oh.
Hey. They squeeze their voice like that.
Oh.
But it's different. Stands out. That's what you want.
That's
All right.
what you want.
Let's move on, shall we? Mercedes Lilienthal and Emily Winslow. Hello, ladies. It's so good to see you.
Hello.
Well,
Hello. Thanks for having us on the show.
Hello. Okay. Were you two paired up last year?
We were.
Okay. Well, I thought that the name sounded familiar, but Mercedes, obviously, we know you, and it's good to see you without your husband for a moment. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. He's there somewhere.
He's there,
You know
yeah.
he's lurking around in the room somewhere.
better-
Tell him this, tell him that. Rebelle Rally. So
He is, yes.
I don't know which one of you wants to explain to everybody what the Rebelle Rally is, but I'll let you decide that and let us know what is the Rebelle Rally.
Well, Emily, do you want to go first since the In Wheel Time crowd might not know who you are? Do you want to mention who you are and how you fit into the mix?
Yeah, so my name is Emily Winslow. Mercedes and I have been partners now 3 times in the Rebelle Rally. So basically what it is, it's off-road rally for points and time, not speed, and it's no electronics. So they lock all our electronics up. It's navigation by paper, map, compass, dead reckoning, things like that, latitude, longitude. So it's 7 days of scored competition. It starts in kind of middle of California and goes all the way down to the border of Mexico, mostly off-road in either 4x4 vehicles or all-wheel drive vehicles. And we're camping and we're driving 10 hours a day at least and just trying to find checkpoints out in the desert. So they're either green checkpoints, a big kind of flag that you know you're there. Blue checkpoints are usually kind of a 3-foot stick in the ground. And then there's black checkpoints that there's no marker and that you hope you have navigated to the correct exact square on the ground. And you work all week to get points and see how well you can do.
I have to ask, are you allowed to use a sextant?
No, everyone asks me that. I think that's only for water. I'm not.
No. You can use a sextant anywhere. You just use it for the stars.
Well, that's what it
well,
does.
we do it during the day, so it probably wouldn't work. But
I see. All right. Well,
So
These are some of the tools you can use. So I have props with me this time, guys. So
Right.
So Emily
compass.
still has a lot of my gear or her gear with me because we basically drove back from Glamis near the Mexico border, and I live in Oregon, and then she lives in Washington, and so she's got all of her Navi stuff by me, but map and compass and plotters to be able to plot on topographic maps. So this is what she lives by and eats, breathes by, and then I have duplicates in case we run them over.
okay.
so those are the slide rules of the Rebelle Rally.
In case
Yeah.
you run them over.
Yes.
And so, Emily, you're the navigator.
correct. Yeah.
Aha.
So you don't know the route until how long before the race?
The day of. She
The day
hides
of.
it real well. I mean, we know where we start. Like we all met in Mammoth Mountain this year to do the kickoff, and we know it ends in Glamis, and that's it. So every morning at 5 a.m., you get up, and she gives you your between 20 to 30 latitude, longitude points for the day, and then I start mapping them with my rulers on any number of 1, 2, 3, 4 maps for the day, and then generally we start off the starting line around between 7 and 8 a.m., depending on what number you pulled. And then you just navigate all day with the maps, and Mercedes drives across the whatever crazy terrain we're thrown into, and you just keep going.
So how accurate are the maps? You said they're topical terrain maps, but there's good points on the map that you can say, hey, I'm in the right spot, or is this purely dead?
I mean, so generally it's either a 100,000 map or a 50,000 map. Every once in a while you'll get a 200,000, which is a very zoomed out view to kind of see if you're traveling a far way. But usually you're working on like 100,000 map with the same rulers, and she is known for deleting. She'll delete any city name. She'll delete any freeway. She'll delete anything that you could possibly know where you are if you've maybe been there before, or just in general. So she doesn't care for you to know where you are by visual. She wants you to do triangulation with your compass. She wants, she always says, heading and distance don't lie. So you need to know that there's, there might be a mountain over there, and where are you from that mountain? So she likes to make it a game.
Is it all female competitors?
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, because
because the guys won't ask for directions.
Yeah, exactly. We
right.
start at 7:00. We'd be lost by 7:15.
That's
Or
right.
drunk.
Or drunk. One or the other. And
So-
all right, and you did the only help that you had was each other.
Yes, and then any other team if perhaps you need help. Everyone is we're all very competitive, but we all understand we're all out there. So if someone's panicked and lost, you will help them. So we are a good team. But basically it's the two of us in a car for 80 hours trying to figure it out.
And what are you driving this year?
So this year we drove, we partnered with Honda. And so we drove a 2024 Pilot Trail Sport. So it is a 3-row, 7 to 8 passenger SUV crossover.
And you have to pack everything you're going to need for that 80-hour trip in the truck?
Exactly, yes. So this was a bone stock crossover. So we were one of 3 Honda teams that were of Honda of America. And so we were the only bone stock vehicle. So all 3 were trail sports. So there were 2 pilots. One was modified with Hillary and Liz. And then there was a passport trail sport. And that was with Serena and oh my gosh, I still have rally brain. Nicole, yes, thank you. I still have rally brain because we literally just got back a little over a week ago, and I just got back from SEMA. So the SEMA show. So I'm like totally still lacking sleep. But yes, and then we were in the only bone stock one. What we did is we took out the 2nd and 3rd row seats. So we had tons of room, and all those anchor points where the seats were, we had put in D rings. So we were able to use those as hard mount points for ratchet straps.
Now you say we did. I mean, are you literally like you and Andy, or you and Emily, or Honda did?
There was a shop down in California that did. So we worked with them, with Honda, and then they translated that information to what we wanted to have done down to that shop. And so they prepped it.
Okay.
And you're taking this trip, quite all of it, off the highway with factory stock production tires?
So that's a great question. So basically, there are, I believe they're Continental all-terrain tires that come stock off the showroom floor with Honda. But what we did, since this is such an extreme off-road rally that typically lasts, it's 8 days, 7 days of actual points counted competition, and can last anywhere from 14 to 1,500 miles. If you think about that, that's a long distance. We partnered with Maxxis tires, and so all 3 teams ran Maxxis Razor all-terrains. They're thicker, they're heavier duty, and none of us had any tire flats, no tire punctures. I mean, I don't know what happened with this year's track as far as the course throughout the desert. I mean, there were dozens of tire failures. There were multiple teams that had dual tire flats at one time. It was a tire shredding year. I've never seen it. And Emily's now completed 5 Rebelles. I've completed 4. We've seen nothing of it. But, those Maxxis Razors, they did great. We've had 0 issues.
So let me ask you this. You're on the vehicle and there's a vehicle failure. Now, you can't have any extracurricular communication because you're on your own. How do you communicate a vehicle failure to folks around you or to come and someone's help? How does that work?
So there's a couple of different things that you can do. If you have a vehicle failure, basically you have to self-sustain. So you can bring along your own tools, your own recovery gear, your own whatever it is to fix your own vehicle parts, things like that. If you cannot fix your own vehicle, you do have a satellite phone that you can report back to base camp and say, hey, I need mechanics help. I need a tow back, things like that. There will be penalties if you do need. If you break an axle, which has happened before, if you break a control arm, if you have, some type of catastrophic failure, you need a tow in or flatbed, which has happened again, things like that. There was one day on, I think the tail end of day 3, beginning of day 4, again, have no idea what was on the course or what people were doing. Again, we always practice mechanical sympathy. There were 65 total teams. Over 20 teams ended up in the mechanics that night.
Oh, wow.
Over 20 teams of 65 teams. Again, thankfully with the trail sport, did a fantastic job, had 0 issues mechanically, that kind of thing. But over 20 teams had to visit mechanics. So sometimes you're not penalized if you can do it on your own, or if you bring it back on your own and have to visit mechanics and use their tools. But if you fix it yourself, you might not get penalized. Sometimes you do.
So no worn winches on your Honda.
Not this time. We ran bone stock. That's another great point. Not this time, but it was bone stock. So basically what we did is we just had recovery boards up on top of a roof basket and changed the tires out. But she ran bone stock off the showroom floor.
And then how many spare tires do you travel with?
So there is one factory supplied bone stock, or just one factory supplied tire that's underneath underneath the rear bumper, that's kissed kind of underneath. And we ran with the second full-size spare, which you'll see in some of the upcoming articles that I will be writing. I'm an automotive journalist. We'll get back into that in just a quick second. But we ratcheted that down in the interior. And we also had an air compressor from ARB that I brought on board, a portable one, and then a full-size ARB tire patch kit. Because we figured, of course, we brought all of that on board, we won't need it. So hence, every time we bring 2 full-size spares, tire patch kit, you'll never need it. We never have, thank goodness. So
Always bring. There you go.
Rather
Always
be prepared than waiting.
Be without.
Yeah.
always be prepared.
So how'd you guys finish?
So I think we finished great. Emily, she pushed herself navigationally. Emily, why don't you talk about the wide miss penalties?
Yeah, so like I said, there's 3 different kinds of points. The black ones you can't see, so you really have to know exactly where you are and navigate there well. And then they give you kind of a range of how close you can be and still get points. And then once you're out of that, usually like 200 meter range, you start getting negative points. So historically, it's scary to try those because you've tried so hard to get your other points that you don't want to accidentally give them up. But I thought this year I would push myself a little. So I did quite a few of the blacks that I normally wouldn't do and didn't get any penalties this year. So I feel like for Navigator, that was it. That was my win.
So Rebelle Rally actually has a GPS tracker on your vehicle so they can see where you're at as you're trying to get to all of these waypoints.
They do, yes. And then you have a little handheld one that you push when you think I'm there. So you make that choice and hit that button, and if you're wrong,
okay,
tough luck. Okay. So yeah, I felt very good about the navigating part of the whole thing.
Very good.
And as far as the driving aspect of it, Emily and I came out swinging strong early on in the first part of the competition. There were 10 total crossover teams, and at our highest point, we were 5th, right behind all the professional racers and the stunt driver, which is fantastic for us, seeing as we were only one of 2 bone stock crossovers. And the only other bone stock crossover was a Ford Bronco, which is a class of itself. So we were really excited about that. This year, there was so much storm damage down near the whole entire area where we were, though. And so it was very, very difficult for all crossovers, especially for a bone stock crossover. And so I think that kind of ate up a bit of time, slowed us down a bit because, even though the inches of ground clearance has got a lot of different off-road tuned suspension and different off-road features, great camera system, a lot of other off-road features that make it off-road capable. And how many times can I say off-road in one sentence? But make it very capable for the average consumer. it was something that was difficult for us and slowed us down, just based on the nature of all the V notches, the washouts, the making the time to get to where you need to be. So that slowed us down a little bit. And some of the other navigational, where are we and how can we get to here and there and everything within a certain time. So we ended up slipping from 5th to 8th for a final overall. But I'm really happy with where we are, considering we are a bone stock class. We finished strong, 0 mechanical issues, 0 tire punctures, 0 flats, 0 visits to mechanics. And for me as a driver, one of my main goals was high-speed driving, getting more comfortable, and doing left foot braking. And doing that not necessarily just on obstacles and just on rocky patches, but doing it consistently.
What kind of motor did the car have in it?
Yeah, great question. So it's a 285 horsepower and it's a V6 10-speed automatic. So it's a 3.5 liter.
Okay.
And it was, I talked to the engineers with it, and regarding left foot braking, they really tuned it and worked with that whole setup to make it a lot more, a lot easier with left foot braking, and a lot more to get the modulation easier and to be more intuitive. And once you got it, you just nailed it, and it became so much fun to drive. It was just great. I didn't want to hand it back.
Did you get a big trophy?
We finished, and we got a lot of dirt in our car. That's the trophy.
And what are they doing with the car? Are they going to put it on Don's used car lot now?
Yeah,
Smithsonian.
I don't. I've heard that the car will live on. I've heard that there is a Honda museum. I don't know. It said it's going to be living on. I don't know what capacity, but I'm not
But you didn't
sure.
see it in SEMA, though.
No, it's not at SEMA right now. It's at the Fleet Company in near Seattle area, waiting to be shipped. So it's in transit. It'll pop up, I'm sure, maybe at media events, maybe at museum.
Or a
Who
Pepsi
knows?
can.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be next year's SEMA. Who knows?
Well, it's great to talk to you, ladies. Congratulations on a job well done. And Mercedes, you and your husband, we need to talk to you two about, obviously, you've got the Rebelle Rally now behind you, and see what you guys are up to.
You're fixing to do the Alaska run again, aren't you, next year?
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing the 2024 Alcan 5000 Rally. This year is the winter edition. That'll be coming up in less than 5 months, gentlemen. And we've got a very exciting announcement. We cannot say it yet, but we are just chopping at the bit to say it. Who we're going to partner with as far as the manufacturer, and hopefully in the next few weeks we will be able to announce, and it'll be fantastic. We
You
can't
should
wait.
use a convertible on that one.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. For the Arctic winter, that'd be
There
good.
you go.
Mercedes, Emily, thank you both so much for joining us today. We'll talk to you soon. Again, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us on the show.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right, time now
fun.
on the In Will
Fun,
Time
fun.
Car Talk Show for this week in auto history. And Conrad has that for us. Don't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, well, I just needed a little verbal.
No. He was waiting on me.
In 1927 this week, Ford Model A production began. The Model A marked a significant departure from its predecessor, the Model T, but its development was not without its share of challenges, including Henry Ford's initial reluctance to embrace change. In 1935 this week, the coffin nose Cord debuted. The Cord 810 was introduced by Cord Automobile Division of Auburn at the New York Auto Show in 1935. The luxurious vehicle was the first mass-produced American front-wheel drive car with independent front suspension. The 810 and later the 812 were the first production cars with hidden headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Bering originally designed the Cord 810 as a Duesenberg, but it ultimately ended up getting a Cord badge. Cord produced only 1,174 810 units. In 1955, Studebaker released the Hawk line. It released the Hawk line in 55 as a 1956 model year vehicle. As a family sports car, the line included, from the top, the Golden Hawk, the Sky Hawk, the Power Hawk, and the Flight Hawk, the lowest price model. The Hawk cars succeeded the Studebaker Speedster, which were all two-door, four-seat hardtop cars. And those cars, and I don't know why, I imagine probably some because of their aerodynamics, are huge in the Bonneville. In 1957, Chevrolet Impala was announced as a 1958 model car production.
Beautiful car.
It originally only was out as a coupe and a convertible. While the Impala and Bel Air are very similar from the A-pillar forward, the two cars had structural differences from the A-pillar back. For example, the Impala had a shorter cabin and a longer rear deck lid, and that differentiation between Impala and Bel Air lasted all the way through the late 60s. In 1957 also, Toyota established its American headquarters and began the invasion of the American car market. In 1983, the first Chrysler minivans left the assembly line. Lee Iacocca and his Mustang sidekick, Hal Sperlich, found themselves kicked to the curb by Ford, and the two spearheaded the new concept car known as Carousel. When Henry Ford let them go because they often butted heads, the design was radical and unlike anything else on the road. Iacocca and Sperlich both ended up fired from Ford and hired by struggling Chrysler Corporation. With Iacocca as the president, they released the Chrysler and Dodge minivans, which was huge successes that kind of started an industry trend.
Yes.
Back to you, Don.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Tailpipes and Tacos is back. It's been a while, but the popular Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In returns to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, and it's an extra special one. Bring your Hot Rod Classic or Modern Classic to compete for one of the famous Chili Pepper trophies and get a free breakfast taco. Just make a donation of any size to God's Garage and Lupi's will match it. You'll be helping single mothers who need a set of wheels. It's been almost a year in the making, so you won't want to miss Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. Cruise in, donate what you want to God's Garage, and grab a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. Tailpipes and Tacos only happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy at 703 West Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of the Katy Freeway. It's car show season, and what better way to kick it off than a free taco and camaraderie at Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Real Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Proceeds benefit God's Garage.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has the absolute best price that you will find on GM parts plus transmissions and engines. Over $25 million in parts and powertrain inventory and customer service that will be not matched by anyone in the country. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance, whether you are a drag racer, an oval track racer, a hot rodder, it matters not. Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance will have the best price in the country, the best customer service, and the best delivery times that you will find on your GM parts. It can be on your dock, at your front door in a matter of days. It's Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet, GM Performance, and customer service to boot. Contact our Texas team, Gina Shile-Knowles at 713-907-0906 or Rodney Rodriguez at 512-300-4445. You will not find better service or better inventory in the country. Rogers Dabbs and GM Performance.
By the way, that's Rodney's cell phone number. So if you don't want to buy anything, just call him up at 3 o'clock.
it up.
in the morning.
Say
Blow
hi.
it up.
Hi,
I heard your number on the radio, and hey.
Or use it and give it to
No, I was in the in-wheel time restroom and saw it on the wall.
Retail demand for new vehicles cooling, along with the temperatures outside in the wake of high interest rates and elevated prices, even as inventories and incentives rebound. U.S. light vehicle sales edged up 1.8% to 1.2 million in October, according to global data. A seasonally adjusted annual rate of sales slowed to 15.66 million vehicles, down from 15.73 in September, and the 2023 high of 16.22 million set in June. After an unprecedented increase during the pandemic, 0% financing deals have all but disappeared from the market. The story from Automotive News. The share of all loans financed at 0% hit a new low in the third quarter of this year at just 1.1%, down dramatically from a peak in the second quarter of 2020 at 24.2%. according to
Wow.
Edmunds. The average quarterly rate of 0% financing for the 3 years before the pandemic was 7.1%. 0% financing has also declined in vehicle categories that typically have a larger share of these deals. The share of all financing at 0% was 15% for both large SUVs and pickups in September of 2022, but it fell this September to 1% for large SUVs and 5% for large pickup trucks. But no surprise.
How's
really.
that Build Back Better working?
Yeah, not too well. Don't you think?
Nope.
I would say.
Not at 10% interest rates on cars.
And we didn't have a chance to do Hemmings.
I know. I'm disappointed.
Well, I can do a couple.
Me too.
1956 Cadillac Eldorado
Oh.
Biarritz convertible.
I think we talked about this.
50,000.
I'm talking
No, 18.
talking 17.
$136,500.
I didn't go over.
Here's one. 66 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe.
Big block, small block.
90 grand.
It doesn't say, but I can't
I'm
really
gonna say
see
58.
the hood. It's done. It looks like it may be a big block.
I'm shooting for
90,820.
Got to be a big block.
got
then.
it. I got that one.
Got to be. And a couple more. A 2004 Chevrolet SSR, one of the most disappointing vehicles known to man.
8 grand.
No, them things are like 12,
I'll
14,000.
say 11.
20,475.
Take him to dinner.
A 63 Chevy Impala, our last one. $7,900. I would get that one.
Okay.
That's the one out. That'd be the bargain. Okay, quick break now, and we're going to wrap up today's show right after this.
Hey, Houston! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back! Thanksgiving weekend! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama! At the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 action-packed days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars. The ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics. See Lone Star Throwdowns, Texas-sized truck spread. And don't miss the traditional rod and custom section. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, see wild, high-flying freestyle motocross stunt shows. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend on the celebrity stage presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration. Friday, meet AEW Tag Team Superstars, the Lucha Bros. Saturday, it's Noel G. Hector from the Fast and Furious. Sunday, it's Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. November 23rd through 26th at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then. Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Here's your invitation to follow us on Facebook. Give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our stuff if you would. We'll keep you posted on all things automotive all week long. Conrad's back with the Unicorn Hunting, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing, car, truck, and SUV goodies. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. We live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com.
Yep.
Every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Daily 30-minute podcasts available on your favorite streaming provider. There's a new episode every day. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Advisor and Video Technical Director is We Need More Jeff Zekin. For Booking Agent and Car Polisher Mike Mars, Mr. Know-It-All is Royalty King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you'll join us for another live award-winning production of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, where we'll be at Tailpipes and Tacos, the Cruise-In, next Saturday, November 11th, from 8 to 11. weather permitting, on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Have a great weekend. We hope you'll join us again. And roll tide. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts.